Shalom, family. Good to see you all here. Hope you're doing well. You know, I'm not surprised that auto sales are slumping in America. Well, who can afford it? And even if you can, you're going to be killing yourself trying to afford the gas that you got to put in the damn vehicle. And electric cars are not selling like you think, y'all. I know some people with the gas prices think maybe they'll start flying off the shelf. They're not. They're not. It is not a lot of people running out here buying electric vehicles because they don't have the money. So they're trying their best to hang on to what they have and just get around in that. Many people, their vehicles are paid off and they're not in any position to have a car payment right now. So, ladies and gentlemen, new car sales are at an all-time low in America. People are not checking out new cars like they used to. How could they? You know? And also, my next live coming up, we're going to talk about Rick Chow taking out our brother, our young brother, and only 14 years old, shot him in the back. You know, it pisses me the hell off what these folks have done up in these courts in this country. Y'all got hell to pay for the way y'all have treated us in these courts. You have virtually allowed every goddamn body to kill us and walk out of the courts. You have allowed a freaking immigrant. This is how deep America hates the black community, what they call the black community, right? They hate us so bad, they're even willing to let guilty immigrants walk free from unaliving us. That's how deep their hatred is for us, y'all. So we'll get into that at 5:45. So let's, okay, before we get started, okay, just a reminder, 12 Tribes on Earth products. If you get the shampoo, the hair pomade, and the rice and aloe leave-in conditioner, you buy these all together, you get 40% off. And this is from today until the 7th, which is Sunday, on Etsy. All right, so don't forget to pick up your hair products. So let's get into Americans are just not feeling the new vehicles that are out. Please give me a 1 if you can see my screen. Thank you.
Americans can't afford their cars anymore, and Wall Street is worried. Duh. Like, I, okay, yeah, this totally makes sense. And I want to converse with you all down in the comment section surrounding this topic because, yeah, duh, this totally makes sense to me. And I don't see it getting better. If you purchased a vehicle during COVID, you probably purchased a used vehicle. If you purchased a used vehicle, it was probably gently or very used because there weren't many new vehicles to choose from. The new vehicles that you could choose from were grossly overpriced, and that then made the used vehicles grossly overpriced. Um, so you overpaid for a vehicle. Fast forward to now, 3, 4 years later, That vehicle is probably breaking down. That warranty that you paid for is probably lapsed. On top of the fact that inflation is super high, on top of the fact that people are literally losing their jobs right now and having to decide, pay my mortgage, pay my rent, feed my family, feed myself, or pay this car note. The car is going to lose every time. The car is losing every time. On top of the fact that people have been making payments probably on time for 3, 4 years, but they've just been making the bare minimum payments. And they're looking at these statements like, why am I still owing so much money on this car? Well, because they've only been paying primarily into interest. People are fed up and they're tired of it. And I completely feel them. I completely get it. I'm not surprised one bit. Not surprised. Again, I want to know from you all if you all are shocked by this. And I want us to really have some good dialogue down in the comment section surrounding this topic. I took a little week off. I needed the week off, but I'm back. So, with that being said, I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace.
What's up, America? Here's a number that should get every car buyer's attention. Roughly 1 million potential new car buyers have disappeared from the market since 2020. Are you one of them? And honestly, can you blame those who have? New vehicles are expensive, which is an understatement. Interest rates are high. Insurance is higher. Fuel costs are a huge concern. And a lot of buyers are looking at today's trucks, SUVs, and crossovers and saying, I'm out. But here's the part that matters. Automakers may not be in a huge hurry to bring all those buyers back. Why? Because during the supply shortage, the industry learned it can make a lot of money selling fewer vehicles at higher prices, especially higher margin trucks and SUVs. That's a major shift. For buyers, this means the old strategy of waiting for massive discounts across the entire market may not work the way they used to. Some vehicles will have deals, yes, some won't, and some dealers may negotiate, while others will hold firm. The market, of course, is not a one-size-fits-all anymore, and that's why Everyman Driver exists. If you want buyer-focused advice without the fluff, subscribe. I'm here to help every shopper figure out what to buy, what to avoid, and how not to overpay. And if you want the more personal side, what vehicles actually feel good on the road, check out Dave Drives on YouTube. That channel is more about real-world driving, comfort, cargo space, visibility, and daily practicality. And before you walk into a dealership, visit quotes.everymandriver.com and compare real prices in your zip code, because if 1 million buyers have already walked away, you definitely don't want to be the one who overpays. That's quotes.everymandriver. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
In today's video, I want to go over what people are noticing in their local areas. If you haven't heard about flock cameras, I think you should be made aware of them at this point because they are popping up everywhere. And people are also realizing the problems that are going to be happening with the kill switches going into every new vehicle as of 2027. Watch these videos and let me know what you think.
Whatever you do not buy a new car. Do not buy a new car. You need to listen to this now. So starting in 2027, every single vehicle is going to be equipped with this AI technology that's going to be able to read your face, your eyes, and listen to every conversation you have. They just passed a law and it's going to start in 2027. Doesn't matter, what vehicle you're looking at, this is going to have this technology in it. So basically what it's going to do is it's going to read your face and scan your face. And if you happen to look like you are looking away from the road, or if it may think that you're impaired, it's going to shut the car off immediately. Or it will not allow your car to start, for one. But if you are driving and let's say you look away from the windshield for 5 seconds, you're looking at, scenery or whatever the case may be, it's going to immediately deactivate your vehicle and it's not going to restart it for X amount of hours. It's also going to have technology that listens to your conversation. Now, if you're having a conversation that may be a little controversial to what the law may think, it's going to automatically alert the police that this conversation is, let's say, of high alert, what it's then going to do is send that little conversation, that script, immediately to the local police department, whatever police department is closest to the vehicle, and the police are then going to go through that footage, and they could be knocking on your door. So I think that this is absolutely ridiculous, very scary, extremely controlling. I mean, if you think that what they're doing now is controlling, this is hitting another level. Therefore, if you're, looking to buy a new vehicle in the next 6 to 10 months, I highly recommend you look at vehicles 26 and below, because I mean, you're riding a really thin line if you purchase a vehicle in 2027. It's going to make the market, I believe, the car market tank. This is extremely scary, extremely intrusive. And like I said, the bill has already been passed by Trump. So just another thing that we have to look out for. Our country is becoming controlling. They are controlling every part of our entire existence, and they're doing it so quickly. I mean, they're just hitting all areas of our life, and they're taking away every ounce of freedom that we have. Chime in. Let me know your thoughts on this.
Flock cameras are not just crime deterrents. They are watching you. They are logging you, even if you do not commit a crime. They have systems that log your license plate, your vehicle details, the time that you were there, the location. They can catalog your make, model, color, bumper stickers, roof racks, even visible damage to your vehicle down to scratches and dents. And then they store that data in searchable databases used by police and other three-letter agencies across the country. That is not just crime prevention. That is mass surveillance being marketed to us as safety. Well, don't do crime and you'll be okay. You are thinking way too small. You are quite literally still inside of the box. You trust the government with a permanent surveillance network? Freedom means being left alone by the state unless you have actually done something, not being tracked just in case. And something that absolutely baffles me is the fact that the CEO of Flock Safety has already compared people exposing the camera locations and criticizing these systems to terrorists and Antifa. That should alarm everyone. That is how civil liberties get eroded. First, by labeling dissent as dangerous, then by expanding surveillance in the name of security, right? And before I show you what a flock looks like, let's talk about my own city. If these cameras are just harmless crime deterrents, why is Louisville, Kentucky fighting so hard to keep their location secret? Louisville has deployed over 200 plus city-owned flock cameras, and police also have access to hundreds more shared cameras from businesses, HOAs, universities, other entities across Jefferson County. Around 600 cameras total that the government can tap into. Metro officials and LMPD have refused to publicly disclose exact camera locations. Earlier this month, Louisville Metro Council voted down a proposal that would have required the city to publish these locations online. They love to say, if you're not doing anything wrong, then you shouldn't care. Okay, uno reverse. If you're not doing anything wrong, why do you care that we want to know where they are? Why are you hiding the cameras? I live in the West End, so I'm actually going to walk you to the flock closest to my neighborhood so that you can see what mass surveillance looks like right here at home. Okay, so this is a flock camera at the corner of Dixie Highway and Dumenil Street in Louisville. Most people drive past this and never think twice, and that's the point. Surveillance works best when it feels normal and when it feels invisible. We're told not to worry about facial recognition or expanded tracking, but we have no proof that they won't do that or that they haven't already. The issue isn't just what they claim that the cameras do today, it's what these systems can become once the infrastructure is already everywhere. Flock cameras reduce crime, police reduce crime. You know what else guarantees reduced crime? Paying people enough to survive instead of poverty wages. Housing and rent prices that don't keep people paycheck to paycheck. Healthcare that people can actually afford. Education that creates opportunity for young adults, treatment for addiction and mental health, the kind of stability that keeps people from desperation in the first place. They would rather monitor poverty than end it. Oh, well, there's no expectation of privacy in public. Being seen in public is not the same as having your movements logged, stored, analyzed, retraced, all to be sold to a private surveillance network. We recognize that persistent tracking can become harassment or stalking when individuals do it. So why is mass automated tracking suddenly acceptable when these corporations and the government does it? It's weird.
I've seen a few posts about this and I wanted to comment on it because I have a personal experience with it. It isn't something that's happening in the future, it's something that's happening now. I rented a car in Europe, and as the woman handed me the car keys, she said, "This is a brand new car." And she was like super excited about it. She was like, "It's 2026. It's a brand new car." And I was like, "Awesome. No one's had a chance to like fart or smoke in it. This will be great." And I'd driven it for a day or two, and I was getting on a highway. It was a 6-lane highway. And all of a sudden, the gas stopped working. And I'm pressing on the gas. I can't get the car to go. So the car is dinging. It's making all this noise, and I can't figure out what's going on. And I look at the dashboard, and in English, it says, "Sit up straight. We can't find your eyes." Why do you need to see my eyes? That was my first thought. And I'm short, so I sit low in the seat. And I guess, I don't know, maybe I'd been driving a while and I'd kind of slouch down more instead of sitting upright. And when I sat upright, the gas would work once again. And so I pressed the gas, but I was slowing down enough that it was going to cause a traffic hazard. And the thing is, it knew I wasn't asleep because I was pressing on the gas. So it knew I was awake. It just wanted to see my eyes. So once I sat upright and leaned forward, I guess it did facial recognition. And then it says, "May I send you these results to a third party?" To which I said, "No, you may not." No. Who is the third party? First of all, who's watching me drive the car to begin with? Secondly, who is the third party you're sending it to? And lastly, it is so dangerous. There are so many scenarios where losing control of the gas can put a car in a very dangerous situation. Like, what if I was pulling out in front of a semi truck? What if I was going over a railroad track? And the absolute worst part is the argument for this is to combat sleepy drivers. And the truth is, if you fall asleep while you're driving, you're not going to be pushing down all the way on the gas. You're going to let up. You're going to relax. No one keeps their foot pointed while they're asleep. And if they say, "Well, what about cruise control?" Then just take off cruise control. Disable cruise control in cars. That's the solution. Not, "I need to see your eyeballs for the car to work." There's so many dangerous implications for this. But even if you're using it just for the good implication, sleepy drivers, we need to see eyeballs at all times, it's still wrong. It's still a stupid idea.
The more they try to force us to integrate technology into every aspect of our lives, to include our vehicles so that they can monitor us and the way that we drive, the more analog I want to go with everything. And I'm absolutely here for it. I'm ready for it as a Gen Xer. Take me back. Let's go.
You just don't need your nonsense. No, thank you.
So we're currently awaiting the rollout of a terrifying upgrade to surveillance tech in cities across the United States. Flock Safety, the police technology company, is rolling out a new and troubling product, the detection of human distress via audio. Flock has been promoting Raven, their version of acoustic gunshot detection. These devices capture sounds in public places and use machine learning to try to identify gunshots and then alert police. We say try because these mics often misinterpret car backfires and fireworks as gunshots. Now these microphones apparently will be alerting police whenever they detect what the machine believes to be human voice in distress. It's unclear how this tech even works. It's also unclear how these devices will be interacting with state.
Y'all, do you see the invasion of privacy that they're doing to all of us? So if you don't sit a certain way in your car, you're going to get alerted and it can go to a third party. What the hell? What if there's a car crash and it mistakes the car crash for gunshots? And then the next thing you know, the cops is looking for you. You know what I mean? Boy, this place is so rotten. It must go. It must go. This is absolutely insane.
Eavesdropping laws that limit listening to or recording the private conversations that often occur in public places. Gunshot detection technology is dangerous enough as it is. Police showing up to alerts they think are gunfire only to find children playing with fireworks is a recipe for innocent people to get hurt. And this is not a hypothetical. In Chicago, a child really was shot at by police who thought they were responding to a shooting thanks to a shot spotter alert. Introducing a new feature that allows these Raven microphones all over cities to begin listening to human voices.
Starting to show the payments are out of control. Banks are having to raise their lending restrictions with certain buyers. Repo rates are out of control right now, especially with those subprime. But even payments on the good credit are starting to be delayed. The 90-day, the 60-day, there's reports of those things rising. So it's not good, but there's just an auto debt problem. America is car poor. But if you go down to your average Ford, Dodge, Jeep and Ram dealer, or even Chevy, almost every brand will have $100,000 vehicles. So when you look around, it really starts to make sense because these manufacturers are able to sell the vehicles because of long loan-term financing. 84 months is becoming more common. This is how they can even think about buying it and getting a payment range that's hopefully lower than their mortgage. I mean, I can show you $100,000 Jeeps, $100,000 trucks. It really makes no sense. So with every brand getting much more expensive, obviously it's limiting their buyers without extending that loan, which is exactly where they're going. But now they have repos rising, they have late payments rising, with no other option but to just start declining new loans, especially the people with questionable credit. But think about how common it is. The average credit card debt's over $7,000. I mean, most people are in debt and they don't have the best credit. So for a lot of people, they go to buy these new cars. They normally are used to getting the approval. Well, they might not this time, especially right now over the next few months. Cars in the United States used to be something that most Americans could afford without destroying their finances. Today, for many, car to crack due to people just being so indebted they can't keep going more and more. But I have a feeling they're just going to go longer and longer. Eventually, we're going to have 10, 15-year loans on these vehicles. Just give it enough time. But let me know what you think about this. I know for a lot of people, it's very common to have auto debts. People that didn't buy a car in the last 10 years, especially new, they're probably like, what's going on? 84-month financing? But yes, that is what's going on right now. It's super popular and it's what's skyrocketing in the business, which means increase in negative equity, increase equity in the vehicle at all, especially if you have good credit. It's going to be zero down and you can just walk away, no payments for 90 days. This is what's going on in the car market, and America has a true auto debt problem. What you guys think? Have a great day. Thanks for watching and stay blessed.
The American auto industry is in serious trouble as people are refusing to buy new cars. Owning a car used to represent freedom and independence. It gave you the ability to go anywhere or do anything. Now owning a car just feels like you're being scammed. I mean, the average payment on a new car is $800 now. In my last couple videos, I talked about subscriptions and paywalls that block you from using the features that you're paying for. We've reached a point that modern cars are surveillance systems that monitor you while you operate the vehicle, to the point that the car can determine if you're fit to drive and disable the engine. Cars have stopped being something that moves you from point A to point B and instead have turned into just another way to collect data. Fortunately, consumers are starting to vote with their wallet. There's over 3 million new cars sitting on lots across America right now that are not moving, and 500,000 of those are from the previous model year that never sold. I don't know if people are boycotting or maybe we just can't afford it anymore. Either way, the auto industry spent decades making Americans love cars. I mean, who drives like we do? But now it just feels like cars are the latest example of how corporate America tries to extract value from us.
Well, y'all, the car industry was never going to be spared. If you remember back when Donald Trump came in office, he had proposed 50-year mortgages. That's what he proposed. You're going to be indebted to a bank for 50 damn years because housing has gone up. Now, look at what they're doing to the auto industry, the same damn thing. Now, you get a vehicle that's over $100,000 and they give you 84 months to pay it off. That's crazy. That's crazy. Who would want it? That is insane. And plus, I don't want AI in my car, y'all. I don't want AI in my car. I don't want AI determining whether I should drive or should not drive. What if I'm sick and I'm just trying to get to a doctor? So I may behave a little differently because I'm sick. I don't want no car shutting off in the middle of the road talking about they're detecting something wrong. And what if I need that help and it's life threatening and the car is shutting off? They saying that you're not sitting right, you're not doing this right. It's determining you're not driving the same. No, I don't need that. That you know how many lives can be lost from that happening? Hell no, I don't want that. Hell no. Since they're putting that in 2027, you won't see me with a 2027. They can all sit there as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, this is crazy what's going on out here. You know, this is nothing but the federal government spying on all of us. That's all this is. So now they're putting AI in cars to spy on drivers. That is taking it a step way too far. If I'm paying $800 a month, you ain't going to, AI ain't telling me what to do behind the wheel of my own car. I'm sorry. I am not paying that amount of money and then being controlled by AI. And then the AI is now submitting my info to who knows, God knows who. Okay, no. That ain't happening. Ain't happening. Yeah, they're weaponizing AI against us. Why would you punish a person that bought a brand new vehicle and now you surveilling that person? Nah. Y'all always take things a step too far. It's not surprising, but all I can do is wake up and pray the Most High will take these damn people out of power, because I think we all had enough now. They're not going to bring anything good to this world. All they're going to do is, just like with this AI technology in your car, all they're going to do is keep bringing misery to everybody. For real. So, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and conclude. Thank you so much for your support and for being here. My last live is at 5:45. And that's going to be on Rick Chow getting off in court. And we're going to talk about that. So I will see you then. Don't forget to pick up your hair products and have a wonderful afternoon. Shalom, family.